Are we live, Rachel?
Let me see.
Are we up?
We're
Oh
live.
my god.
Watching now.
Yeah. we need like an entrance, like a do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Coming to you live from Boulder, Colorado.
Okay, we're gonna do a audio check from Nicole. Super Wonder Frog. How do we sound? Specifically, Ryan.
Yeah. Hello.
Wonderful. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
It sounds good.
Woo! I changed nothing.
Game sounds good.
That's sick.
Let's go.
Look at that. What is this? Stream 8?
We finally
We
got
finally got it. Now's where you get those Prime subs in, people. This is where you start paying us.
I'm just gonna say I'm so happy with how the planet icon menu turned out.
Oh, the like
Still makes me
spinning.
happy anytime, especially watching someone else play with it. For
Yeah,
some reason, it brings me joy.
is very. Man, it feels like there's other games that do this. I can't think of any of them, but it is very satisfying. I guess I should do an intro. Hello, it's another Verbal Wednesdays. Today we're gonna go through a few Everfin levels because we just launched a patch that has Everfin in it yesterday. So if you have the game and haven't done that, go play Everfin. It's beautiful. It's an awesome mix-up from Jambito, and it's a good time. If you don't have the game yet, go get the game. It's $20. Support indie dev. If you really want to wait till it's out, then that's fair, but you're gonna get the full game no matter what. So you can support it now.
If you don't have the game yet, do we still have the 1p per go?
Yeah, we do.
If you don't have the game yet, and you're the first one, you keep trying to give
Well-
a copy of the game away.
Wait, do you
And
mean
it's
on
not
the
just people
stream?
who own
Yeah.
the game. Yeah.
Answer is no. It's not the first one. It'll be because it's still a raffle for the multiple people that have it. So it'd be, if there's
What's the raffle for now?
Well, I think that we had a raffle last time that was for a game key, but we don't. Everyone that has watched has a game key already.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's the thing is our fans are all people who are like, oh my god, this game is great. I'm gonna watch your stream.
Yeah.
And
people have
the
bribed
people who
to
don't
watch.
know. Yeah, and the people who don't know that our game is great don't know to watch the stream.
True.
Is what it is.
Well, it's worth noting now that we have effectively more than doubled the size of the game that you can play.
That's true.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
a new
True.
planet with even more levels.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to think big patch or things we put out with this one. Is there any big patch notes with this release?
No, just I'd say main is just Everfin. I would say the next kind of big update to kind of start looking forward to is in December we're going to be doing Dr. Corvitt's lab.
Yeah.
So that's like December 17th. So I'd say kind of start getting excited for that as there's more to come in early access.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that like all the stuff is announced. So we're putting together like the social post and realizing like all of the verballs that you actually have never seen before as a new player, and all the new weapons and everything that you're playing are part of this release. So I think it's like easy for us as devs to get used to the idea because they're always accessible to us when we're playing with them.
Yeah.
But releasing a new planet is a big deal. So
That's-
super excited.
yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I guess. Well, we played Everfin a couple times, so it might not be anything too crazy. But anyone who doesn't know, yeah, you get a whole new core, which means you get 6 new weapons and a total access of 12 weapons when you're in this level. There's whole new bosses, whole new enemies, and different platforming challenges, and just kind of a whole new soundtrack. As we were just talking about that Nate Madsen is a
Hell yeah.
badass and made dope ass music.
And cores are like the thing, right? When you get a new core, you have all of your guns that you've already had, and new like the volume of stuff that you can do is so much greater, right? And the combos that you can make. It's part of the charm of the game is being able to like, oh, I can use this, and then you know, you got your two guns. I can swap. What's the one that frees them?
It's snow. Yeah.
Dude, I love snow. You get snow in that's Everfin, right? I'm not
That is
sure.
snow is water.
Yeah, you get
plus air.
snow in Everfin. Snow, snow's one of the best ones, not because the gun itself is so good, but because it combos so well with like every other gun.
Oh, just a quick, Ryan, could you turn down the game volume just a smidge?
Oh, he does that.
And no one hear me. Can no one hear me gush about new cores? Is that the problem?
No. I think it was good. It was just a tiny bit, kind of thing. So, but you're good. Continue. Keep gushing, Robert.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like the reason the game is fun is because of the variation that you get from, in this case, cores, right? The ability to do things you dn't do before, have access to stuff you didn't have access to before. You don't lose any. I mean, like any game, you don't lose old guns. Who's getting it?
Also, this is a side thing, but I just realized, this is we're releasing Everfin the same time it's starting to get colder here, which just now I just look at this and I'm like, I wish I was in a tropical landscape. It's so nice.
Yeah,
Ooh, there's a few
versus
ice
to Alex. Versus to Alex for making like nice vacation spot looking parts of the level.
Yeah. And I can't even swim in the water because it hurts me.
You are a robot.
That's true. That's true. The one thing these science guys haven't figured out in the future: what do we do about wet stuff?
You mop it up.
He was developed on a planet without water.
It's true. I know we'll have to add in like a codex of what Orb's whole history is. It'd be funny to put in just an obscenely deep lore that no one would ever read. Just so it's like hundreds of years ago the first janitor bot was conceived.
Mention at least 13 races that don't exist in the actual game.
Yeah, yep.
Is this the Silmarillion of Verballs that
Yes.
we're doing now?
Hey, be pretty cool. Everyone would be. We'd introduce. We could even use Lord of the Rings lore. Be like, yeah, the two wizards showed up here.
Which two wizards? Are we allowed to say their name on screen?
Well, the two blue wizards. No one knows what happened to them in Lord of the Rings. I think they went west and they never are brought up again.
Question. From Nicole. The game is procedurally generated. What does that mean for the player?
Yeah. Well, specifically, it means a couple things. It means that each save you make is going to have a different seed from another save. So levels will change from you playing it multiple times. Level will just use different tiles. It also means that you get, as you go on through your worlds, you'll get a little bit faster going through them because some parts might be things you've seen before, but difficulty also ramps up as we've made the tiles. So it's both like you won't see the same tiles repeated, but you will get like an overall feeling that kind of drives you to play faster and kind of rewards you for knowing the game.
It's a good description.
It's also
I wasn't listening. What did you say?
It's also a fun little mini game you can try and play and see if you can recognize the pattern they grow in, because they're all a certain shape. They kind of bundle together, but since we have them spawn a certain way, it can make different shapes that the map takes in many different kind of forms. Who's this other guy at?
I think one of the building games that have procedural elements and elements that sort of combine, both level-wise as well as your abilities and weapons, means that you get to play it kind of fresh and new as a developer as well. That you hop into a world, testing something, and get an entirely new layout that gives you kind of an unexpected interaction, or combining things in a certain way suddenly feels different than what you thought you were making in a really positive way. That's always, for me, that's one of the dreams of being a developer, is being able to create stuff that surprises you, or does that emergent gameplay and levels. I absolutely love it.
I think also one kind of exciting thing that we've had internal playtests that maybe some people watching have been parts of, and they'll know this. But anyone that watches in the future, if you haven't played or seen it already, Gambito is definitely a more tame start, because you always got to have a tutorial world. You can't just start with the most exciting. And I think that like knowing it's procedural can cause fear, especially if you see Gambito and you're like, oh, is it always gonna feel this way? And I think the best thing about Everfin releasing is Everfin, every time we've heard from internal playtests, and I think how we feel internally as devs too, is that Everfin is the a friend played this, said it best, like Everfin I think is the, God, what the fuck is the word I'm thinking of? Is like an example of the potential of this game. Like it is the potential of this game personified. Because it shows like,
Realized.
it's like realized. That's a great word. Because it shows like, the maps may be procedural, but they feel different. It's all wacky. It's it's a more light environment. It's colorful. It feels fun, and especially I think going from the tutorial level into this. Kind of like, I just think it'll be fun. And I think anyone who hasn't played Everfin yet will kind of see, I think just see more of the game's potential, as Eric said, realized as they go through it. And that is a thing that I can assure you, at least as we've worked on future tiles, is a thing that I think we've kept up pretty well. I think we've done a pretty good job trying to make each planet feel pretty unique as you're going through and feel. So even if you're going through these levels, you don't get sick of the planets between each other. Boats. This is I don't remember if I think I was here talking about this at one point, but one thing we changed for Steam is I made these little rivets bounce, just to make them a little more fun, and also this look a little goofy now.
Yeah. Well, I like seeing them like ricochet back at you. And any of our current or future viewers are going to have to weigh in on where they think the inspiration for levels and their things. Ryan already knows.
Yeah, I think Ryan's already spoiled that one by just saying it on earlier streams.
That's true, but listen, we don't have a consistent viewer base. Oh, so I gotta turn up Eric.
Well, I'll just tell people what it is. Have you ever gone to Lowe's or Home Depot?
It's true.
There's an aisle
Yeah.
that has, it's like these weird cylinders.
It's actually how I got kicked out of Lowe's and Home Depot. I was just throwing bolts at people. I was like, I need the sound reference. They kicked me out.
Were they about to kick you out and then you were like, oh, and you bolted?
No, for shame, Robert.
Fun fact. They tasked me with writing some of the loading screen tips. And after I wrote them, one of the other developers, who I don't think has been on stream, or may have been on one or two streams, was like, yeah, so when you write a loading tip, it's supposed to be relevant to the... And I was like, no, it's just puns.
Nope. It's so close.
It's just puns.
All the
One
worst
person
ones.
chuckles and then sighs to themselves. It's success.
Another question. What are some of the challenges of creating unique worlds, but with a limited team?
Time.
Yeah.
Fucking time.
Listen, we face no challenges and everything we've done is amazing.
No.
I
We've
would say,
faced many
yeah.
challenges, and everything we've done is amazing.
Like Robert. Yeah, I would say definitely from the PM perspective, it just means this like low amount of time. I mean, I would say our team has been great, and we have gotten a lot done with what we've had. But yeah, it just means we just need more time.
Yeah.
I don't know where the quote comes from, but it's like you can have like high quality, you can get it done quickly. And what was the first?
It can either be cheap, fast, or
cheap.
good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can only pick two, so you're always sacrificing one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel.
Thank you, Robert.
Which I think I think every game has things that the developers look at and are like, God, if only we finished this one thing, it would have been better. And no one knows about it because they don't even know it could have been a thing. So I'm sure we'll have that. But it is a thing. The amount of ideas we've even had just like when we're like, ooh, what if we add this new mechanic? And then we're like, God, if we add that new mechanic, like a platforming thing, then it's like, well, now we gotta go put it in every other level. And we make like our level development is broken up because we don't need to we're not making whole worlds, we're making these pieces, but it also means we're making like 60 to 70 pieces per world. So now it's a thing you gotta go backport into 60 or 70 pieces.
Yeah.
And we did do that with. We've already talked about.
Yes.
Ball mode.
Okay, we're allowed to talk about ball mode. Okay, I wanted to make sure. We did that with ball mode. We were like, oh, we've got to go back to a bunch of the tiles we made in like Jambito, for instance.
Yeah.
And either make sure that there's some stuff to do in ball mode and Jambito, and make sure that there are no tiles that are broken because we added this feature.
Well, it's also tough. It's hard for things that's like such a good idea that you can't not do. Like, for ball mode especially, the original pitch was, hey, it's just going to be in there. We don't need to do anything else to support it. It's just a sprint. And then I was like, well, if it's in there, we got to do some things to support. Like, you can't not make it a platforming feature. So you'll see, especially in more, I think we have one in Jambito now. I don't know if we've put any in Everfin. But there's a couple levels that have some more mechanical things based around the ball mode specifically.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if we added many or any to Everfin. I'll have to check.
It's like backlog task.
Backlog. Oh, look at that. Back to the time. But yeah, fun fact, games take a long time.
Hi, Bebo.
That's my friend Breen.
Ryan keeps saying games take a long time, but it's just because he's not very good.
No,
I don't know about you guys.
listen, to be a bit narcissistic, I'm a pretty fast dev, and games still take a long time. I was like, the amount of stuff we've done just in what, 6 months now, 4 months, 5 months, however long since we've had our big push for this so far, has been insane, and there's still so much we could do. It's an easy to make infinite task. Oh.
And Rachel appreciates that we don't.
It's true. Rachel begs that we don't.
Please.
Praise that we don't. And sometimes we still do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're artists. Oh,
I think.
no.
I think Eric froze.
Eric! Well, our OBS is gonna look extremely weird, and I can't fix it. Eric, come back.
Oh, he's back. I'm Eric
Hey.
now.
Wait, Eric, turn on your camera. It should fix it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my whole computer just
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh,
had
no.
news.
Well, Robert's Eric now. Eric's Robert.
I'm.
I can't see who else is who. I can always.
Except the thing is I think your Discord icon is now in his.
Oh, I'm Eric.
Is now in my. Yeah, you're Robert. I'm Eric.
Oh. I'm a
I'm here.
dev. Oh, there you. Hey, did it fix it?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
no idea.
You
That
know,
was bizarre.
anyone who's probably out there like, these guys gotta be professional streamers, right? You'd be surprised.
Definitely.
We are though. We're professional streamers. I'm saying that as a joke, but we're literally doing this at work.
I know, but
So in a sense, we're professional.
if there was
streamers.
any marketable skill, I don't think this is one that I would. I've been, I've had some crazy adventures in my career life, and I don't know if streamer is one I'd be putting on my resume.
I would say, at what point would we need to? Can we call ourselves influencers?
As soon as we've influenced at least one person.
That's true. Well, dang, that's a good point. Hmm.
Well, this seems like a good time for me to bring up the fact that a person who I'm really confident is a lot smarter than me told me I had a good idea recently. So I'm an influencer. I think he's an influencer is what just happened.
I feel like Stranger has to be part of that.
Yes, influencing a person you don't know is probably part of it. Oh. Man. I will say, as a developer, when your computer does something that you've never seen it do before, it really makes you terrified.
You got old hardware? That Cyber Monday's coming up.
I take
Not
it that it
old,
did
but
something-
certainly taxed.
I take it that it did something that you didn't tell it to do.
Everything spontaneously froze, and then all of my monitors started like blinking
Whoa.
in succession.
Oh.
Like,
You're being hacked.
That was fun.
listen, this is a foreign hack of our tech. Somebody is actively stealing her life.
I mean, we make video games, that's guaranteed.
Yeah. I was gonna say also, hey, here's the good news. We got a lot of evidence that we made Verballs. 8 streams worth.
Do you have a favorite water-based Verball, Mr. Ryan?
Eel. The more I use it, Eel's so
yeah.
good. And I'll be real,
Yeah.
I've had to go through our projectile system a lot, and I still don't fully understand how Eel is doing the things that it's doing. Because the thing is the AOE, I know the AOEs, I know how our projectiles spawn and all that, but the Eel one does the little lightning chain inside of it, and I don't fully know how the hell that's happening.
Don't change it,
I'll
please.
explain it to you someday.
Yes! One day
Once
I'll
you're
learn the
older.
technique. Fair. It's like animation stuff. I had the amount of things I just learned today, trying to go through stuff and make temporary assets. So, you can in Unreal's animation thing, you can. I had to like take a single frame from an animation to try and make an idle. I was like, damn it. Well, it's only one frame now. I can't add new keys in to try and like make a dumb little like temporary thing. You can add new keys. You can only do it apparently one at a time.
Oh, you can append as many as you want. I'll show you.
Okay, good. One, I'm just glad that's in there because all I saw was like the insert one after and insert one after. I was like, wow, you would think you could do this faster.
God, this is tedious.
Yeah, God, Unreal's usually so user-friendly, and this is insane.
I will say, like, the old way of editing animations, they have all, obviously, their new rig and crazy, control rig and crazy ways of building animations, but if you're still kind of working with, like, core assets, they've never really improved them.
Oh,
in terms of, like, their additive tracks and, like, modifying an existing animation is still pretty rough.
Is it?
But that's because they moved everything so heavily into crazy control rigs and sequencers and all the other animation tools.
Well, I'm definitely not one who knows a lot, like animations I know pretty bare minimum to use them the way I do, but I was like, I didn't see a way to, like when I was just trying to mess with keys, I couldn't see any of the info on the key I added, and I was like, Robert gave me a much better idea to do the thing I was trying to do, but I was just trying to like get the rotation I rotated a thing so I could unrotate it. Again, I know now that was a dumb way to do it, thanks Robert, but I couldn't even see the rotation I changed. I don't know if that you can, or I just didn't see it, or if you just straight up can't see them.
That'll be another thing I'll show you when you're older.
Yes.
Well,
I'm just
you're
gonna
older.
keep repeating that line.
I can rent a car, but I can't animate yet.
Make it feel more special about
Animation is
people.
not the easiest thing in the world. Just stick with renting cars. If you already do other things well, you don't need to add animations for that.
You know what's crazy? I feel like I would rather learn to animate than deal with renting a car. a lot more hassle. Seems a lot more tedious to try and rent a
It's
car.
not. Do you not know what goes into animating?
I don't know.
Okay,
Trivia.
Listen,
compared.
all I'm saying is I know what goes into renting a car, and it sucks. It's you gotta wait hours just standing there.
I'll make you a deal. You can clean up one motion capture file.
For every car you rent for me, I'll take that deal.
You'll take that
I
deal
don't think I
once.
would.
Yeah, listen, I never said what I'm gonna get you is good.
It's true. It's done. You didn't do anything, Squirrel.
In that case, I'm renting you a U-Haul.
Actually, that one's yeah, that one I'd take. I've done a U-Haul before. Those aren't too bad.
Also, you're not getting the insurance.
Ah, man.
Last time I needed a U-Haul, I definitely got the insurance because I needed it for like 3 hours. And it was, do you remember like a week or two ago? It snowed really hard and they shut down I-70.
I don't even remember that, and I live here.
And I was like, I need to move furniture on this day at this time. I'm getting the insurance.
I think that is the Colorado weather. You know, it's either sporadic or I just have amnesia about it. So really, I don't know what the weather is.
The thing is that in like Boulder and Longmont, and because you were even further north of there, it was actually great up north. But if you went down to Denver or Parker, where my nieces live, it was bad. Like they had 2 settings.
Which is kind of odd. Colorado. I don't know if we have anyone watching. It's not from Colorado, but Colorado is like. I feel like usually Denver is not the first place to get. I feel like that's usually the last place to get snow. Oh god.
Yeah, I was looking at this stream thinking like, Ryan, are you good at this game?
Damn.
Literally the best at this game.
This flying capsule
might
boss
be
is
literally
absolutely an escalation in difficulty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh hell, this is a nightmare.
It's so much
Yeah,
more
there-
scary.
There are certainly moments in the game where you gotta like take the combat pretty seriously, which you know presumably is balanced to the degree, or will be balanced to the degree that we're really happy with. And you've gotta. It's not always easy. It's not always hard, but it's not always easy.
Yeah, we'll have to play with. There's something I feel like we need to, because this is a serious ramp in difficulty, I think, for anyone playing this. So I might just improve the walkability of the area around him.
Yeah. I mean, I think
It's so easy to be like aiming up and fall off, and you got to do it all over again.
a pretty big part too is like, well, I mean, those follow rockets are they live for so long and they'll follow you
Yeah.
pretty well. I mean,
Agreed.
probably be good to have someone play this that didn't make it, because I know all the mechanics. So I'm like, well, I'm like, yeah. these
Actually, I'll have to get Jamie's perspective now that she's
are-
back.
oh, true.
She's actually would be good.
Because yeah, see these flying guys, just you can't bob and weave them.
Yeah, they need to have like less turning ability or something.
And I got the Atom badge. That's a thing that we're messing with. Also, if people have noticed for the Atoms, because we've got a lot of feedback for just what people think about Atoms, and we've had a lot of back and forth of just stuff we should do. And we found a similar thing that actually does it is very similar to like actually the Lego games. That is more like a thing you get just if you achieve a goal, rather than like a specific number to strive for. It is just like an overall thing to aim for without a lot of specifics. So we've kind of there's a word for that. I can't think. We've kind of streamlined streamline the information you go for, and
Yeah.
you might unlock. There's a little extra collectible you might unlock when you beat a thing with it. That might go towards other stuff. I don't know if we can talk about yet, but I'm pretty excited. that was the first 3 levels. I think the next thing we were gonna do was make a Vio tile.
Yeah.
IO.
Oh yeah, it is Vio. This one, it is
Vio.
canonically Vio. My brain just cannot say it right, and I don't know why.
And well, the pronunciation, eh, I'm going to say something that Eric might balk at. The pronunciation doesn't super matter, except that when we're in meetings talking about voiceover and we call it VO,
VO.
and then we talk about the whole world VO, and they're the same effing word. I'm like, what? I'm so confused. So I try to get people to start calling it VIO, which turns out is correct. Eric
Yeah.
It
tells
is
me,
correct.
Is correct.
and also makes me less confused.
Now I gotta try and get my thing to share the right editor. Unreal Editor.
And I say it makes me less confused, except that it's not sticking. Nobody's doing it.
Why do you lie to me, Unreal? Why do you not
VO.
work?
I need to like add an accent to the O's.
Vio.
VAYO.
That'd be Veo.
Hush. You're right, but I don't want you to be right.
I could spell it like the old Sony computers, VAIO, VAIO.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh God. I used to work at
Why can I not open?
at the computer lab when I was in high school. Like that was one of my extracurriculars that I don't even think I got credit for it. I think I was just a nerd. And we had Macs, which were super unreliable, and we had Sony VAIO PCs, which were somehow way less reliable.
Yeah. It's the very first PC tower I ever bought myself was a VAIO
Oh, wow.
back in,
Ooh.
I think, 98.
When they were whole rooms.
So they took punch cards.
They took punch cards still? I think that's a bummer of a thing. Is like, we had a discussion, a thing, in a little peek bunker. We were like, well, the amount of voiceover stuff it would take for us to do, it's just too much, and we don't have the recording set up to do like a high quality that would match the graphics. But God, it makes me sad because the amount of things I want to do silly little voices for, I still want to, like, I'm bummed I won't get to voice a pirate.
We're still gonna do pirate noises. You'll still say ER.
Of course. Here. All right. Also, real quick can everyone see my Unreal?
Yeah.
Indeed.
So I think we're doing a difficulty 5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
God, I learned last time that making a level on stream is really difficult. So let's see if I can try and think of just
So much pressure.
so much pressure. I mean, it'd be fun to do a little platforming challenge, right?
Yeah, the collection setup should help now, though. Now that we have like asset collections that you can just pull from instead of guesswork.
Oh, that is actually very true. And I always forget to look at those. It's I was like, there was one day I didn't see them, and then I was like, oh man, they must not be there. All right, well, we only have 2 city jungle gyms, so I'll make an Earth City jungle gym. I like those. But I'm gonna steal. Honestly, yeah, we'll just copy off this one. City jungle gym 3. Say selected. We'll delete everything. Oh, Vio.
Well, I was gonna say, I'll let people know the background of Vio is that it's obviously a gas giant, but it is also essentially the Floober's primary like settled world, and so they have giant cities sprawling across all the kind of the land and the non-land areas. So there's all sorts of raised buildings and stuff where they lived, and fun little streets connecting everything. But I think we all love it because it's a good breakaway from a lot of the natural kind of rocky landscapes that we've been doing.
Yeah.
And now it's lots of kind of constructed assets and stuff. So it's really fun to build platformy challenges in them.
I think it's also made a very interesting realization that even though it is the least naturalistic, it is the most complicated, like traversally, like is the most maze-like,
Oh yeah.
which is kind of on purpose because all of them have been pretty led. It's also just kind of funny that like the city one is the one that feels the hardest to get through.
Yeah, it's the most confusing layout.
Yeah.
Their city planners are garbage. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
they-
Flubers after all.
We the lore. This is what I'm saying. We need to start putting in these lore codexes because God, the lore of the Flubers is deep.
I love it.
You did get a question from Super Wonderfrog of did the Floopers destroy their homeworld and that's why they colonized the other planets?
God, it has to be that. It has to. That it's gotta be it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, ideally, there is going to be a part 2 to this game,
God, that'd be
and we can do a little more.
God, I don't even know what would the story of the second game be? Do you have like an actual plan if you were like what game 2 would be if we get to make a sequel?
Not really. I just have plans for like expansions,
Oh yeah.
which, if I like mentally kind of reworked those, I suppose they could evolve into more substantial second game kind of stuff. It's tough. Like one of the like internal questions, like when you're building a sequel, how much do you kind of reinvent? Like, do we still have all the same elements with mostly the same combos, and they get an upgrade, and then we add more, or like
Mm.
those are the outstanding questions that I'm just not sure of.
Well, we also went pretty ham on 40 weapons is a lot to then try and come up with 40 new weapons.
Yes, exactly. I love the idea somebody had. So there are other elements out there. I don't know how much we should tease these kind of things because they certainly won't happen yet.
Oh,
But
fair.
musings is what we'll
Yeah, everything here.
Oh.
Well, that's
a
the
food element of Verbal would be pretty fun.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Ooh.
let's imagine a world where there's more than just 2 cores. There's a bunch of cores.
Well, there's more. We already got plans for the 6 cores. So what's more than 6 cores? Or you mean more than 2 combination?
More than the No, there's more cores than the 2 that you get in right now. You've got earth and water. There's more cores than earth and water.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I was talking more stuff we haven't planned for yet. Like, what would we make past the stuff we already have? Which would be tough. But hey, if stuff's exciting to people, go buy the game so we can make a second one. All right, I think it'd be kind of fun to do like a back and forth between these 2 long guys because I like these long guys.
Yeah.
Another question. What are we doing to optimize the game to ensure that it works on a wide range of machines?
That's mostly.
mean,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I was gonna actually say that's Eric. That's up to you. That's a.
I mean, there's a lot of shared assets and shared logic. And so, for instance, even the Verbals themselves all use a lot of the same core logic and same core objects, and even their animation blueprint is shared across. And then those things can be kind of heavily optimized in one place. And so, both like the materials all use master material, and so if we make any optimizations, we can push that to virtually every enemy in the game. And the same thing with like kind of all the assets and stuff that generally were fairly low poly on pretty much everything in the game, and then utilizing as many things as we can, such as the procedural foliage and grass and stuff like that are already about as optimized as systems can get for just generic static assets, and then being able to just fill the world full of that stuff. That said, there's still plenty of performance gains for us to try and achieve. The goal is to get this thing to run pretty much on a toaster, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, optimization for this will be an interesting like test to try stuff because I know a lot of code optimizations are usually the last frontier of stuff because you're just trying to get like it's pretty hardcore. Like I'm trying to fit as much rendering between or as much like operations between actual rendering steps as I can. So I don't know if we'll ever get to that level. Maybe. I don't know if we'll need. I hope we don't need it. I think,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah,
said, we
the trick is to have developed it with, you know, what's the lowest platform that we could expect, like Switch.
Yeah.
Not in
Mhm.
any way a guarantee that we'll ever wind up on Switch, but like if we make the game with it in mind that it should be eventually possible to do that, and optimization is maybe hopefully a solved problem. We've been really lucky that it's been like not very buggy, super performant. Like it's actually going super
Yeah.
well in terms of like what all
Knock,
is
Mhm.
going down in development.
knock on wood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
we should knock on wood just because you can always curse yourself, but
yes. Well, and there's
so far.
there's challenges even working with Unreal. So one of the things that I've learned that Unreal does is it'll use what's available to it. So it becomes kind of difficult to figure out, how much is that a performance hit and how much is it Unreal kind of just spreading itself across the ice, if that makes sense. So that,
Yeah.
so for instance, if you have spare cores, it'll probably use them and seem like it's using a lot, even though it might run fine on one, if that makes sense. Um,
Oh yeah.
Cool.
so it's
Oh,
been kind
double
of
is too much.
an interesting journey optimizing with Unreal. Those are some bouncy jellyfish.
Yeah, I was like, well, this is the only. Gosh, man, the numbers are crazy. This is the only way we haven't used them yet, and it might be kind of fun.
Pinball level.
Do a little pinball thing. Um, but I was like, well, I gotta make it so we can actually increase the bounce distance if we want to do this. Cool. Okay. All right. Sweet. And man, what else do we want to add to this? Just back and forth seems boring for a level 5, though. I guess it'll be. This is where
What you
my
could do is have like a peanut gallery on either side with kind of like a couple verballs that want to shoot at you or something, or just areas where you could like have a pause for a moment before you move to the next
like
bouncy bounce.
maybe we don't do those big block off areas and do more of these guys with some platforms that you can land on and stuff. It's like get to here, get this guy over here.
It was really fun to like hit bash the the Fluber building. So originally there was mostly just 3 buildings that we had sort of made as where you're gonna find the Flubers, and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure we're gonna build Fluber cities, and just started like peeling apart every little component and reconstructing. Like kit bashing is a lot of fun, especially if your assets are already um, pre-optimized and set up the way that you want. Like it's fun.
Yeah, it also makes it, especially with our kind of fluctuating teams. It's like it is nice to have the ability to do, like, I couldn't go model specific things I need, but I could go just kit bash random stuff together to kind of make a thing that I'm looking for. Let's see, what does this look like? Oh no! Oh, I need dashes. Think. Oh, well, that's not helpful. Also, let's put you. What's this guy? How's me? You under here. Then move all you. Nope. Move you all the way back. I don't know about other people, but this, I don't know. I started at when I first made tiles. I like drew out the entire tile. All the other tiles I've made have pretty much just been like do one thing and then keep going and be like, well, if I add this here and then this.
I've definitely done both ways as well. Like I have a plan and sketch out kind of how I want the layout to be, and then other times I'll be like, I saw this asset and I want to use it, but I'm not sure how. So let me just see. Definitely know what you mean.
Put this here. I was like, I want the player to have to do more.
The road to nowhere.
The road to nowhere. This is probably. I feel like this is one of the biggest limits breed creativity, but this is like one of the biggest limits we've had to kind of work around. Is like, okay, I want you to move a certain distance, but it's also like there's only so much distance you have from one end to another. So you have to
Yeah.
we have to like creatively block off where you can go to get to the point.
Mm.
And
It'd be fun to put like a blocker between that round platform and where you want the player to go. That's kind of, yeah, exactly, like forces them to go around or something,
Ooh.
so that they kind of have to bounce their way where they need to go.
This works too. All the Sage jungle gyms have been like, you're just, you're just really ruining the property value by by bouncing around things. All right, what if we do? I still want, I want these helipods to be a big part of it. So it's like, what if we do like
Yeah.
a weird little, you gotta do like a backwards launch, like run this way to get up to like get up to actually it'd be easier to just do like this guy. Then
Reminds me a little bit like Donkey Kong Country, where the barrels that act as like cannons, like you land in one
Yes.
and it like rotates and fires you to the next one.
Ah. Well, we were speaking of like platforming things we were just talking about is a similar. I think, actually, yeah, we showed it in a TikTok and many other things, but we have like the ball traversal too. But doing one that just launches you when you get in it. Kind of a la
Yeah.
that cannon thing. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh. See, the hardest thing is you have to like. I know I know I have a crap ton of air control. But I feel like most people are just gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, I don't go very far." Bonk.
Yeah, you kind of want it to like, for the most part, put the player where they need to go. Like basically, like that second one should be roughly where you might land if you didn't give any controls other than forward, right?
Yeah. Do this slowly. In fact, actually, this might be a good one. I'm just gonna keep playing it from above it, so I bonk. So close. So close.
Doing.
And a wee. Oh, I missed. Don't. Nope. So close. Let me try that one again, just so I am at least near it. Oh, that's pretty close. Yeah. Cool. See, the only thing I'm like, man, if you don't have to move at all, is that going to be too easy? Is that going to be more difficult?
Well, a little bit. So there's balance, right? So some of the time, if the penalty for failure isn't great, then allowing the player to figure it out is one thing. But if the penalty for failure is absolute, then you kind of need to design in such a way that it's their game to lose, if that makes sense. So making it ridiculously challenged platformer wise makes sense if the penalty is sort of like start over. But if the penalty is death or like pain, then it's like make the platforming fun and make you feel clever for completing it. But actually, it's more that you didn't deviate from what was the clear objective, right? So the player is going to want to kind of like, ooh, where else could I jump? But for the most part, if it puts you where you were destined to go, I think you feel clever still for getting there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also actually I think that's a good idea of just a thing we can add to this is a
Yeah.
couple alternate ways we can like the main thing is just getting
Yeah.
to the top of here and then you can jump down and we'll figure out a way back up over here. Maybe I'll just do a little like dunk 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 up like left and right.
Yeah.
And then do maybe it's a little optional platforming thing to get a possible collectible thingy. Oh wait, am I just gonna bounce right off
Yeah.
that?
Reminds me of something I used to talk about. I used to make t-shirt illustrations
that's
for
kinda
like
cool.
resort apparel. So like you would go to South Padre Island and pick up a novelty t-shirt while you're there, that kind of stuff. And so it was a lot of kind of joke, funny joke t-shirts. But the reminder that we always had to tell ourselves is like it isn't the illustrator or the creator's joke, it belongs to the person wearing it. So like as soon as you've handed this off to someone else, it's their joke, it's their cleverness. So, like they feel special for getting somewhere, like in a game, and the same thing wearing a T-shirt. It isn't the illustrator's joke; it's the person wearing it. So if it's clever and they feel smart for wearing it, you have to remind yourself, like when building stuff, by the time this is in somebody else's hands, they have a sense of ownership to it. And so I think that's also with a lot of the challenges and stuff, especially if they complete something that felt difficult. There's I think a deep sense of ownership of like, yeah, that's like you get a piece of that world.
Oh, that
I actually love that.
that's really cool. I also now really want to do a skin for Orb that is like, I rescued the solar system and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. Like, it's really,
It's definitely doable.
that's gonna be.
We'll do that for the box set.
It's the when you order the deluxe edition for $400, you get a mini statuette of Orb. Ah, dang. I guess I could just lower this.
The little steps would be. Oh, that's also.
Oh, also 9-minute warning.
Got
Sorry, I
9
forgot.
minutes. Boom. Hoop. Okay, cool.
This is fun. I like it.
Yeah, where else do you like oh no.
Well, it'd be fun to throw a couple verballs up there. They should kind of move a little bit along the surface of it, so it'd be fun to.
Think.
I always like seeing the verballs sort of turn a little bit depending on the surface they're walking on.
Yeah, we can put a couple up here on the
I can't remember if they'll do it to static assets, so we'll see.
on this.
I know they do it to the landscape.
Let's see. We put a couple. Yeah, we've put a lot of air guys in this level, so we'll try not to do that. What air ones do we want to use? Yeah, give me a verbal. What verbal should we put here?
Bro.
Firework.
No,
Oh, you know it
Oh
would
my
be.
god.
you love firework rides, but every one of your tiles.
I just realized, like, so up here you could throw just like some, I don't know, like the desert guys, and
Okay.
then I think actually what you might add
sand.
to increase the challenge in the middle is add mine. So add like a guy, 2 or 3 mines
Oh,
that spawn and they're kind of drifting towards you as you're bouncing around.
good call. Okay, let's try 2 of these guys. Should they? Yeah, we want them to be able to move. Want them spawn at center. Make them 2x. 2x. Make this one mine. I don't think we have a lot of mine, which is mine is, in the lore of this world of these being homes, absolutely terrifying. What do we want? 2 mines? 3 mines? How many mines?
We do 3. Like they're fairly slow, and it's really you're gonna want to take them out before you're bouncing around
Yeah, which
as a
actually,
player, because I think they're mostly just be very dangerous obstacles.
let's put a little bit of ammo at the front then too. Let's do.
I have this part of my brain that I can't turn off, that whenever I hear the word mine, part of Finding Nemo plays in my head. And if you've seen the movie, you probably know the part I'm talking about.
I mean, mine is Moria, and they call it a mine.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Why are you not
But I know what you're talking about. Mine.
Mine?
Mine? Mine? That movie is so good.
Yeah.
It really is. Whoa!
Oh my god.
There's a. I still don't know how you can even do it, but there's a little way to get a little extra bounce on things.
Did we make a change to where like all of the 1x spawners spawn 2x's now?
I was just wondering that because I was double checking that I set those to 1, and it's still spawning 2.
Yeah. I noticed as well.
Jacob made a comment. As I'm looking through Slack right now, it was like around like 11:30, which was before I made this build. It was just a bug, but it should be fixed now.
Okay, cool.
So it's a good catch.
Excellent.
Spawn box. There's make. Wait, no, I need the. Where's the box size? Just make this a little bit bigger. All right, cool. We got a couple guys up there. God, what do we want to do? Like, how? What do we want this little challenge? What's the extra challenge? Maybe we put like put another one of these that's like higher up. That's the tough thing. I guess we have these usually on stilts.
Yeah.
So I probably don't want just floating.
That's one of those things. I'd like them on stilts. I think they feel more city-like, and
Yeah.
less kind of like fantasy. Kind of. It's one of those things that's like. I think a lot of people just start like in all sorts of games and movies and stuff where like they don't care to explain why something floats, and then other times they do.
Now, if
With
you're,
these specific assets, I love for them to be grounded, but
I will say, well,
I'm
here's
not gonna stress about
one quick pitch. We do have, and we haven't done it yet, we do have balloon assets. And we've made a balloon cart. I've made air balloons, but I have not made an up house yet. Is it dumb to make, will it look bad if it's an up house?
If you do it, you have to make it with 99 red balloons.
I don't got that kind of time. Listen, each of the string assets is hand placed by me. It's a pain in the ass every time I've done that.
I mean, honestly, if we were
Remember,
doing
you
it,
just
I would
type
commit to
99.
it and use like the shack style houses
Oh,
where they like look more like I would do full commit. So instead of a Fluber house, I would do like
just
one of the little
that
wooden
is-
houses, and then just spawn like 10 static verballs that are like spawn at center or whatever, like 10 spawners, and they all just.
What would those be under? They're not under the buildings folder, right?
No, those are in the vibrant pack.
Way to bring up, by the way, yet another great animated movie.
It's true. We're sponsored.
Are
No,
we should be.
but if
We
you
should
keep
be like Disney and Pixar should be like, if you just talk more about our movies, and they don't even have to pay me that much because I love them.
True.
They're great movies.
I think if you just, I'm pretty sure if you just keep talking as though you're sponsored, you become sponsored. I've never been sponsored, but I can only assume it's coming.
Make it till you make it.
I'm on my way.
Uh,
I've already been saying the things.
do you know what folder they're in? God, this has a lot. Modulator,
There's so many.
Mother tree, old totem, pottery set, radio plant, root stem, ruins, old. What if I looked up shack? Is that gonna help?
Probably like
Damn it.
wall. I don't think they're shacks.
Oh, will I have to build it piece by piece? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have that.
We might have to do this at another point. I don't think
Yeah.
there's a single.
Would say we
constructed
have
house.
2 minutes left.
Not
Yeah.
worth it.
Good luck.
Okay.
We're not going to recreate a beautiful, heartwarming element from a great Disney movie in 2 minutes.
I think I think we go
Alright.
all the way, and like we'll make a cliff that it's sitting on with a bunch of balloons above it, and like just make it like I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then when Disney gets mad, we're like, that wasn't about your movie.
I don't think they can. I feel like references they don't have legal claim over.
Yeah, you don't get to own a house tied to balloons.
I'm inclined to
Um,
agree. I'm making a
Their
joke.
specific house.
I mean, it is a good thing to be aware of. The mouse is always watching. They
But
will.
also,
They will
you're-
come down on you fast.
if you're a Disney person working at Disney and you're thinking, oh, they're infringing on our things, we love you so much. We love Disney movies. We a bunch
Lawyers
of us
don't
have done
care.
work for
Yeah,
a bunch of work for Imagineering.
Yeah, I feel like the lawyers would be like, "Great, if you love us so much, you'd be happy to pay us."
Like, we love you so much, we'd be happy for you to pay us. We could get paid to talk about how great your movies are.
And
Because again, they are. I'm not even talking sarcasm.
well, listen,
Or-
I like some of the newer ones. I don't know if I like as much, but the older ones, I'm all for.
Dude, and Kanto, Good
one is-
lord, that was outstanding.
Yeah, but I
But that
still
one
don't
is
know if that's
still,
as
like,
good.
a bit old. Because when did Encanto come out?
Well, it's like
2020?
it's like 2 Disney movies ago. I think of that as newer.
But in content, I was like, listen, I love Hercules. I'll always put Hercules number one.
Oh, Hercules is good.
Yeah.
Also, it is 5 o'clock.
Oh, let me finish this one last part. Hold on. I need.
While he's finishing that up, I'm gonna gush over Tangled.
Tangled is great.
Glenn Keane.
Oh, man.
Tangled is a
Glenn
good
Keane
one.
comes back for Disney's first like proper 3D movie and just dominates the look and the story. Was
Knocks it out of the
great,
park.
and Frickin'
Yeah.
Mandy Moore. They couldn't have cast
Ooh.
that role any better.
Yeah.
My God, that movie was amazing. I owned that movie in stereoscopic Blu-ray.
See, I'll say even that
It's
one,
so good.
that one might be better than Encanto.
Mm. This isn't a musical, but Meet the Robinsons.
That one's good.
Did you guys?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
one,
that
I
one's
love
good.
that one.
Absolutely.
That one's based off a book.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, 90% of movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their trick early on was just finding stuff that was public domain and then rewriting it for their own
Yeah.
sensibilities.
Hey, best Disney movie still Treasure Planet. And it did terribly when it came out, which is messed up.
So depressing.
I rewatched that movie after, however many years, because Ryan wouldn't shut up about it like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not the best Disney movie, but my God, it is stellar. It's really
And
fantastic.
that's just
I don't know how that one slipped past people.
well, I think that's all and that one also is just what Treasure Island, I think it's just the
Yeah.
story of Treasure Island.
Correct.
Sure, but whether it is this thing or this other thing, it's great.
Oh no, yeah, it did great. I'm gonna say more so is like, yeah, it's still a book, but it's a great rendition. And has great music in it. I also rewatched Brave, and Brave, honestly, not bad. Just does not have the music. That's the only thing I don't think is as good.
Well,
I
Brave
did.
is a Pixar movie.
Oh, that's
Brave
true.
was the first Pixar movie that was not like
Wait.
monsters or animals or boys.
Yeah,
or
but I think it was after Disney bought it too, wasn't it?
They certainly started development before Disney bought them.
Oh, did
I
they?
don't
Okay.
know that it came out after or before Disney bought them.
Because I know that she is considered a Disney princess, so I know she's
Yes.
at least
Oh.
claimed under Disney things now, but yeah, I don't
That is
know
true.
though.
Well, they do make the comment in Wreck-It Ralph that she's from that other studio.
Oh, did they? God,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
Do they really? Oh my god.
That's good.
Wreck-It Ralph did such a good job of like
Okay.
sort of subverting expectations and like breaking the fourth wall in ways that didn't really break the fourth wall, but were like nods to really big Disney fans, which is like most people in a lot of ways.
Also, yeah, I think real quick to a Tao thing. I think listen, I'm not gonna lie, this is a little clunky, and I know what I'm doing, but that might be like helpful for a level 5 tile, because this is level 5 means that this one specifically this will be in level 20 of the game. Yeah, this level is the 20th level of the game, so people should if people don't know what they're doing by level 20, I don't know how you got here.
Well, their kid just picked up the controller while they went to the bathroom.
You come back. Cool. All right.
Oh no!
Well, I don't think that's too bad. We'll have to add, I gotta add some art stuff in there, but
You did really good with the amount of time. I
Yeah.
will be honest. You did great.
Thank you.
Yeah, which is
Thank you.
surprising because Ryan is a developer. Everyone's become a level designer at this place.
This
And
is
Ryan's
true.
actually gotten shockingly good at it.
I'm just the best at everything I try.
Well, we're all
No,
shocked
none
that
of
you're
it
good
was.
in anything.
No,
God,
level
all my-
is as good as the last
All my
time.
teachers say that too.
The last time was the best time.
Great job. That was super fun.
Cool.
Okay.
I
Same.
guess yeah, we're a few minutes over, so thanks everybody who watched, and we'll catch you. I think next Wednesday. No, next Wednesday
next
is before
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Well, all right, we won't.
Oh yeah, it's the day before. Are we streaming?
No.
that day?
No, I'm out.
No. The 4th.
And I'm the
We'll get back
talent.
on the 4th.
Yeah, so we'll be back the 4th, full bellied and many pounds heavier.
Yep.
Peace.
Bye guys.
Sounds great.